hello, and welcome to race number 13 in the EFRL Next Gen Cup Series. Matt in the booth. We currently have a little less than 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in practice, and currently leading the way. Gotta get that screen up. We have the 89 of Drew Trader leading us in practice. Gonna take a look at his car real quick. That's him. Melka Drake currently in second. Some different people up front. Dean only in third. Ryan is in fifth, and the person split in the middle is the 51 of Paul Urban. The sharp looking scheme from Brian, although he is driving a Mustang today, not his usual, well, I don't know usual, but not his Camry. 89 goes for a nice little spin. Alright, see, Dean's out on track. AJ Kupala kind of knew he's driving the 17. Interesting having FedEx on the Camaro. Dean out of 3 and 4. Oh, taps the wall. The lap is not going to count for Dean. We're going to look at someone else. Brett Murrell able to put the first lap down in this number 40. Doper is holding on to the pole. Travis Lapinus, the only other guy to put the lap down. He was in second and 16. See how long these guys can hold on. Travis falls back to third. Brett still stays fourth. Thornton put a lap in. Well, numbers are crazy. So I'm just going to take a look on pole. 6 people have put a lap time in so far. I assume Thornton's time is going to go down because he is had one really slow first lap. He's going to cross the line, and it will put him not improving, I guess. Still falling down. Definitely not what the 35 team wants to see tonight. They're going to have to dig themselves out of a little hole. Qualifying puts them in 10th and actually dropping very, very quickly. E40 got toppled. Currently falling back to 5th. Brian Lorenzo holding the pole position. And he left the track as soon as I was trying to get to him. Where Dean complete a lap and he's currently in 3rd. Van in 2nd. Oh, Brian fell to 2nd. And Paul Irvin actually took our pole. Once again, he disconnected as soon as he put his lap in. One heck of a run for Paul. His only other win this season has came from a fuel mileage race. Trader who has been leading us a lot of practice. He's out there sitting in the pits. Ryan Frey actually might be on track doing something entertaining. Yep, he's coming out in his 32 Camaro. Another, not FedEx, that's whatever they're ripping. But Ryan Frey has less than a minute to try and put a lap down. And his time's not going to count, just tap the wall. With 45 seconds, Frey is not going to be able to get a lap, but he's out here at least for practice and entertainment purposes. Oh. So if you forgot to change yours, then I'm kind of screwed. Alright, and we are going to be gridding up very shortly. It's going to be a long one here tonight. 125 laps. So if we can keep down on the cautions, we should be able to try and wrap this thing up still before 11. And I'm not going to spend a heck of a lot of time on the interviews because those usually take like 10 to 20 minutes and no one watches them. It always drops down to like 2. When Paul gets his car down there, I'll go through the order. Hopefully it does so soon. There we go. Starting in the pole position is going to be the 51 Paul Urban. In second, 77 Brian Lorenzo. Fourth, the 41 Dean Demmer. Those two side by side once again. And in the fourth position is going to be the number 9 of Jake McCarty. Fifth place, the 14 of Nicholas Fuller. In sixth place, the 40 of Brett Merle. Seventh, the 8 is not an actual car number. I can't tell who you are, So you're getting skipped because you don't have a right number. The 17, and I think we are in 9th now, is AJ Cupola. And 10th is going to be the 5 of Steel. 11th, people are still going. I'm going to go until the pacer comes out. We got Drew Trader. 12th, the 16, Travis Lapinus. 17, I can't. But we are going to be going green next time by. We're going to try and be wrapping this up very shortly here. Once again, 125 laps. It should be 4 sets of tires. A little more than normal because the race is longer. However, in our Gen 6 series, we had to do the entire 125 laps on 3 sets of tires, so just didn't give you any wiggle room for getting an extra set there, and everybody was pulling the same strategy. However, that race kind of stunk because everybody was going around the field forever with just wrecked race cars. We'll see how it'll be here tonight because this is the more pristine league in EFRL, or Prestige League, I should say. A lot less cautions compared to the other series. We still have our cautions, but definitely not as bad and a lot more racy. Oh, that's why I see Aaron. He's in the number 8. He said they forgot to change his paint. Okay, I will try to remember that. We're going green flag racing. The 51 is off. And the inside line is trucking forward. Dean Demmer able to take over the number 2 spot right away. Brian Lonzo fighting on the outside. Oh, move. Wiggle out of the 51. He is going to lose his top position. See if I'm liking camera number 3 for this race. Out front right now is Dean Demmer. And I'm not completely sold. We'll try number 1. Fuller has moved his way up to second. Brian Lorenzo fallen only 1 position. He's gained a little, lost a little. He's in 3rd right now. The 51, after getting loose early on, is again swamped up back there. Is fighting to stay within the top 5. Aaron Brown is right behind him, and Jake McCarty. We'll see. Aaron Brown's probably going to want some redemption this race. Last week, he's trying to go for the win. Completely dumped the leader, to be blunt, and he felt bad about it, and he got relegated to last car in the lead lap. This race is going to be about patience, though, so we'll see how much redemption Aaron can pull. Drew Trader moved up to the 6th place position. Aaron Brown fell back 1. You can see back there, as they're getting racy, the 51 is starting to pull away. I'm going to move the camera to the 89. Who's outside of this? He's trying to fight on the top side. On the low side, we have McCarty trying to defend the 6th place. Well, was 5th place. And he's going to surrender that. Aaron Brown's still stuck behind the 9. We'll see if Aaron's going to try and jump on that top side. It looks like Aaron is staying content so far. You can see Steele back there. Once again, staying content. Carroll. All back there. Oh, Carroll's running a different scheme. Got some mojo on the car. Up front. Oh, little wiggle out of the 5. He's going to lose momentum. Carroll's going to go by. The 40's going to go by as well. I'm going to go up front, though, because Fuller and Dean look like they might be at it, or my ticker might be goofy. Yep, they are at it. Fuller around the outside. Dean battling back on the inside. Right now, he cannot clear him. Dean's on the quarter panel. Dean's going to send it in the turn. And so is the 14, and they're going to exit side by side. But with the momentum, 14 is going to have the advantage. And And this is stacking the people up behind him too. We see the 89 who was strong in practice. The 77 back there. The 51. These guys are all stacked up. Brian Lorenzo able to secure the third spot. And these guys are still at it side by side on lap number 17. Loses the front end of the car, going to drift up the track. I think the 14 saw that coming and they will back out of it, but great heads up driving from both of those guys. They're able to prevent a wreck from happening. Dean is going to have to recoup, but it's better having to recoup than, you know, waiting in the pits for your car to be repaired. And also your X-Word is affected too. But Fuller hasn't led a whole lot of laps this season. He's going to be logging quite a few. Is in second place, Lorenzo and Trader. Going to be battling side by side. Looks like Trader is going to take over that position. And now they're single filed out. They're able to see if they can stalk down Fuller. Probably pass for the lead. The 89 is looking high. Does not have the momentum though. Probably just trying to get his nose somewhere where he is not so he can get a run. Sorry. And right now they are stacked up once again. It looks like the draft being very important here. I know it's not full throttle track, but you still have to keep that front nose clean. And Trader going to be going to the inside of Fuller, looking for the lead in turns 3. He's going to send it down the inside, and he is going to clear the 14. Dean's also going to send it, and he's going to enter side by side with the 14 with a new leader of this race, Drew Trader. They both start with D. And Dean is going to successfully take over the second place position. 14 going to slot his Camry in third. We'll see if Brian comes to attack. Drew Trader, another guy who's not usually up front, gonna be logging some laps tonight. It is nice to see different faces up here. And we do have our old faces as well. You can see it's Demi 741 also in the same camera shot. Dean going to be poking his Camaro to the inside of Drew. Drew's going to be using that top side to defend. Can't do anything at the moment, probably because the tires are still kind of fresh. Bordeaux's going to take over the lead, but he is not clear of the 89. 89 able to use the momentum, reeling back in. They're side by side, 3 and 4. Drew going to slide up the track. Asked a little too much out of the car. Dean's going to say thank you, and he's going to take the lead. Once again, kind of showing how his experience, trying to keep on with that patience, because that's going to play a huge factor tonight. Trying to sit, log some laps, and hopefully don't get too strung out. Right now we're good. The other series though did get strung out, and well, at that point you are trying to drag for content. But Dean is pulling away more than we've seen the other two. He's pulled to a little more than 2/10. We have people in a line once again. If history repeats itself, one person is going to get a run, trying to get to the inside of the other guy, which is, you know, I'm all for that. Good racing there. We can see the top 5 all in the same camera shot, just shows how close they are. And Aaron Brown, no, he's in 5th. It shows him 0.566 seconds off of the lead. Paul Irvin, 7.5 tenths. Guys are very close to each other. It's probably because of the draft that someone's not able to escape. To play a really big factor come to the end of this race if you have someone who blows due to the draft, not usually up front. Will they make some more desperate moves? Who knows? Dean's arcing it more in the corner. He's leaving that inside open. The 89 did poke his nose down there, but was not successful. We have a battle going on for third right now. Brian Lorenzo to the inside of Fuller. Fuller trying to use that top side to defend. He's doing a really good job of that. Not asking too much out of the car. And able to get that momentum to maintain his position against Brian. Because of this, we have Aaron. Aaron is not afraid to dive it in deep to try and get around Brian. Guarantee you, Brian is looking for that. He has his Camaro down low, but he didn't quite have the momentum, and that just opened the door for the 51 to try and get side by side for that. Actually, they're battling for fifth. Drew looked like he was going to try and make a move for the lead, but it was just the same time before. He's getting his car to the bottom lane before Dean is. Dean's arcing it, and you can see he pulls off about like half a car length. But Drew is able to dive it in deeper as these tires wear down. In favor of Dean, trying to save his stuff. And also when green flag pit stops happen, we're gonna get them all spaced out. But the 89 up the track, he's gonna slide up, use the side of Dean, but they keep it good so far, but they're stacking up behind. Brian Lorenzo has to check up. Aaron Brown able to take that to his advantage, and I was scared he might have put them 3 wide for a second, but he is taking advantage, and Aaron Brown currently on the ticker up to third, but he did brush the wall, going to kill his momentum off of the turn. Fuller and Urban going to be battling back on the inside. The biggest loser out of that is Brian, who had to check up to not wreck, and cost him 3 positions, and he and Aaron pretty much traded spots. Aaron is going to be one of the more aggressive guys up here. Using that top side, and he almost had the 14 clear, but 89 was not able to allow him to. People are starting to drift off of the inside now. These tires are wearing. That's probably going to go into favor of Dean and Brian, who usually are really good at tire saving. Good tire saving, good on their speed. It's a pretty dangerous combination. Aaron actually might have saved his tires too, because he dove it in really deep. And he's going to take over the second position from Trader. Now we'll see if Aaron can track down Dean. Hopefully he doesn't have to use up his stuff too much to get to Dean. Being 3.5 tenths away from him. We do have 2 distinct packs. We used to have the top 6 all in the same camera frame. Right now we have the top 3 up here. And then behind the 89 is Brian Lorenzo, who was able to get around the 51, just got around the 14. And we'll see if he can try and get his way back up here. Malachi Drake, someone we haven't talked about much today. He's on his way up, battling in this pack 2. And Fuller made a very aggressive move to get out of the way of Paul Urban. Didn't quite need to do that, or cockpit might looked a lot closer than what it was. But he got out of the way, cost himself a position there and a position to Malachi. Someone back there was scraping the wall. Oh, Thornton's able to catch up a little bit. He's in 9th, you can see him. We have 22 cars that started the race. Brady looks like did a little starting park. And down to 21. Brett Murrow, the last car. He's only 1 lap down though. James Coy also 1 lap down along with Joshua Yandu. For the lead isn't as exciting. We're going to try and go back here looking for front of the pack, see what action is going on. Because Dean is pulling away from Aaron. That gap increased to a little over 4 tenths. Right now we're watching Drew Trader and Paul Urban duking it out. Both these guys are still in top 5, bound for 4th. But if they get all racy, Malachi Drake in 6th, would love to see that. Be able to catch up his Camaro to battle these guys. Fuller has fallen back. Looks like the tires have definitely affected that 14 machine. And he's not as strong as what he was beginning of the race. Probably pushed a little too hard, but he did lead some laps, you know, looking strong. Good for the camera. Just mute the part when I was talking about the tires and looks like our god tier sponsors. Thorne was able to get around him though. He's up to 7th. Poor qualifying for the 35, but he's trying to track everybody down. We'll see. He doesn't have any wins this year. Neither does Will Cloud, and I don't think Will actually made the race. Doesn't shock me, because they had a very interesting week. He and Zachary Thorne, both broadcasters or not broadcasters, race control for other series. They've had a fun time with that. Thorne hasn't shown how good of tire saving that he has this season, you know, just being a mediocre car. Well, upper mediocre, I should say. And I know I don't have any room to talk, because I'm always battling for 17. Thorne making quick work of the 07. And he is looking to be pretty strong. He is 3 seconds off the lead though, but 5 tenths off of Drew Trader, who's in 5th, so he does have a good chance to get into the top 5 before our first pit cycle. These guys are going a lot farther on fuel than our Gen 6. The Gen 6 ones could only go about like 30 laps, so we had to do... First pit had a lot of cautions, but it was about a 3-stop race. Cautions you're able to save and get some fuel where you needed it. We had 2 light pit stops. We'll see how many we have here tonight. And Thorne able to close up to the bumper of Trader. He's going to be looking on the outside. Definitely saved his tires a lot better than these guys. And the top side right now looks like the spot you'd want to be. Earlier in the run, looks like bottom was keen. You're able to make passes down there. You weren't able to defend too much on the top side. New tires, but now all these things are worn. It looks like the top side is where you'd want to be. make your passes, defend, etc. And now Thurin taking over the third position. He is closing on our leaders though. Less than, well, right around 3 seconds now, so I guess. It was going down, but now it's staying the same. Oh, the 51 backed out of it. Green flag pit stops look like they are happening. 51 going down. 41 go down? Yep, 41 did. Shows Brian is the leader. Thornton in second, and yep, a lot of our lead cars have been going down. Dean is going to lead us out of this green flag pit group, I believe. Yep. Along with the 51. Oh, the 5 might make up some ground on pit road. Steele was side by side with the 14. Definitely made up some ground. But I don't think iRacing told him to be in front of the 14. Oh no, is it someone trying to go down pit road? That sucks for these guys. They're going on pit road, taking their stop. Now they're trapped a lap down. They can get due to the natural wave. But that just... They're going to be in the back now, having to take that wave. That's a lot of people. All the way from 7th on back, my ticker says is a lap down. So someone screwed up going in pit road. You're lap 39. Did have a very long green flag run though. Almost roughly around 40 laps. There's about a third of this race. Making quick work, but third of the race, already 10 o'clock. It's going to be best in favor for Brian, who's coming down the pits right now. As soon as Brian leaves, I'm going to be looking for who caused the caution. The 07 also got lucky with that. Oh, our caution's actually going to be Dean exiting the pits. We'll take a look and see what happened to Mr. Dean over here. Actually, I want to back up a little bit. Dean usually not one for causing cautions. So, oh my gosh. Full tires tried getting up to speed and just lost it. Unfortunately, it happens, but his day might be done. That was a ridiculously hard hit. A lot of front end nose damage to Dean. Oh my, that sucks. And Dean was our race leader too. We'll see if he can get back going, but it looks like just in a split second, your chances at winning this race are gonna go down the drain. He was leading by a hefty margin too. And Brian should be the race leader. A lot of these people in front of him are going to take the natural wave around, as we will see. Two to go. My ticker shows Dean is not in the session, but that might be because he's down pit road. No, he's still there trying to wait it, but he's got to have some required, or he would have been out there because he put him a lap down. So all you gotta do is just take out Brian out, and you're gonna have a different, different race winner. And that was not a bet for anyone. The lights on the pace car, we're going to be going green next time by. Like the number of viewers did spike up a little bit. But for those that didn't see it, race leader Dean Demmer is out of the race. Just commented that it's killed. No point continuing over 6 minutes of optional. So if he does get back out there, he would probably just be riding around in the back and with this arrow. But Dean, that is completely up to you if you want to ride around, maybe get some points, but you're very solid in the playoffs, being the last race before the round of 15 starts. Yeah, it did look very odd. Pace car is down pit road, and Dean's car, something happened. Don't know if the tires got loose, but Brian's getting away very well. Malachi Drake not able to fire off as quick. Matt Cochran able to take advantage of that, put in his Camry up in second. We have some people going back there. 3 wide maybe? Expand the view out a little bit. Expand out even more. And see what we have going on so far. We got our front little pack, and we got a pack that's kind of in the middle. But people don't care about drivers like myself that race in the pack. The Camry's usually on people up here. Harrison Chandler probably heard me, and he is now in the 5th place position. Oh, gotcha. So, Dean was explaining what happened. It is going to probably affect his rec score, though, but I'm sure he had a 5. Actually, oh yeah, some contact with Thorne, but it probably put him down a little bit. Anyways, talking about some bumps off of turn 2 on the pit road. Oh, the 30! He's gonna be spinning down the grass. All-Star TB. Joshua Yandu. Gonna be getting him back going, but he's gonna fall to the back of this group. Anyways, there are some bumps on that apron that will upset the car. It looks like Dean hit those bumps, got the car really loose, sent the car up the track. Unfortunately, not a whole lot you can do in that instance because you're already up to speed, trying to get up to speed to get out on track. And yeah, overall unfortunate situation. But Dean's best friend Brian right now is taking full advantage of that, as all the other people have pitted and he did not. So he's able to take the lead because of that. Everybody else taking the the natural way around. Gonna put them a little farther back, like Drew Trader back to 90, pitted with the original group. He's gonna have to be making his way up through the field once again. Definitely split the field. Some people benefited, some people did not. Yeah, well, this is the last race before the playoffs. We know, Dean, that's not how you wanted that to happen, but we do have New Hampshire and still a long road in front. But you're seeing the 77 of Brian all covered in his confetti. I don't know, like a pre-celebration. But that car he had actually was for a different league, wrapped up the championship. So Noah, the owner for Cloak Media, the actual sponsor for this next gen series, made him that car. Actually, I don't know if he made him the car, because Brian does make his own schemes. But he would have had approval for Cloak Media, has the thing covered in confetti. But Aaron Brown trying to make sure that that car is not going to get another win tonight. He is 0.15 seconds behind Brian. Malachi Drake has fallen off a little bit. Still on third, but not as close as what he used to be. Aaron is looking really strong tonight, able to not fall off like Fuller did. And Fuller got kind of screwed even more with a caution, putting him back more than 6, and he's currently in 10th. For the lead, we have the 8 to the inside of Brian. He's going to dive it down deep. Brian's going to take his normal line. And Aaron is going to be leading this race, going to be leading some more laps here in that number 7 car. And if he does get a top 3, I am going to chastise him for his number, because I know him in other leagues. You'll see how Brian responds though. And Dean just sent a paragraph that I have to read. Brian wasn't able to use the undercut to get around Aaron. Looks like kind of sliding back in line, might have to regain, or he might be saving and Aaron's probably pushing. Definitely could be a thing too. And when Fuller was pushing, he lasted around 30 laps. The fuel run looked to be around 36. So there would be a few laps that you'd be struggling there if you completely push it. And you can also see the lines that are different. Brian starting high, timing it down low, versus Aaron is just wrapping the corner. And that's allowing Brian to get right to the back bumper of the 8. He's going to be looking to the inside down the back stretch. We'll see if Brian tries to use up those tires to make the pass on Aaron. Aaron is going to use up his tires to defend. He's not going to surrender one little bit, and this is causing Malachi Drake and Matt Cochran to catch up to him. A little contact there. Aaron able to hold on to the lead. But Brian, I think Brian's using kind of more smarter approach here. Diving in the corner, saving his tires, and being patient. He could move Aaron, but he's not. And Aaron's also having a very shallow exit too. Probably that is to defend, but that just hurts you right front even more. So Brian's going around the outside around Aaron, and he will take over the lead once again, actually side by side out of 4. Not quite clear of Aaron yet. But he should be. Aaron diving it down on the inside, using up those tires. And Brian actually not able to clear the 8. Cochran though in the 4 is just going top lane, bottom lane, whoever can get by the other guy. And Brian right now does have the 7 cleared. Cochran going to be using that outside, using up more tire, trying to make it quicker, but he actually slid up in the middle. And he's going to have to concede to give Aaron that second place back. Okay, time to read what Dean sent in the chat. So saying Brian's just a beast, deserves his championship more than anyone else. Made too many mistakes this season. He's made mistakes, noted, wasn't a lot, but he definitely is top car in the league at the moment, not gonna lie. But we also all know how the playoffs go. The top car not necessarily gonna be the best. And back for third, I just saw the 07 of Drake take a pass on the 4 of Cochran, dive it down on the inside. Quick word, and I think Cochran didn't really put up a fight compared to Aaron Brown, who has this Ryan Newman-ish style, being a pain in the butt to pass. People, at least up front, are starting to get more spaced out. Brian's pulled away to a 2/10 of a second lead. But in Aaron fashion, he's trying to fight on for anything he can. And he's back there in the draft of the 77. However, I think passing Brian's going to be very difficult. At this point, you can't really pull the same moves that you did earlier. I see Drew Trader back in the field. He's battling right now. Zachary Thorne, he's made his ground up. He was in 10th earlier. Now he's in 7th. Thorne being right in front of him, though, in 6th. Thornton also someone who pitted early and thrown in the back of the pack. Paul Urban, same position. Well, Paul Urban in 5th. Drew Trader with a great run off of 4. Going to try and pull the slide job on Thorne, and he's going to be successful. Thorne, though, is going to close up to the back bumper of the 89 and not anything that can really be done past that. Looks like Cochran's going to be falling backwards. Paul Urban has caught him, and soon Drew Trader and Thornton will as well. Looks like Cochran's probably having his tires start to fade on him, if I were to guess. Kind of the same thing that happened to the 14. And the 14's out at 10th, so he's falling back. He is in 13th. Paul Urban able to get around. Same with Trader. Zachary Thornton, we'll see what he can do. Matt Cochran isn't really putting up a fight, though, so props to him. You can just see how quickly Thornton's able to pass. Cochran went up high that time, so I don't know if he's just getting out of the way, kind of knowing limitations, but that is the smarter way to do it. Definitely not making enemies out there. And well, you're in 7th out of a group of 20 people, so it's still a really good finishing position for him. And even though Thornton quickly caught up to the 4, he's not really running away. Okay, that time we got a good exit. And I'm going to have to look at someone else because Thornton's blinking on me. I'm going to the back to see Harrison Chandler and Michael Steele are going at it. Oh, stealing Lapinus. Well, that battle's going on behind. They got a battle going on in front of them. These guys are duking it out for 10th. The Pinus to the inside right now is Steel. Pinus being in 10th. Steel trying to fight and get that back. The 16 is going to clear him. 17 also might get in this fight very soon. But ahead of them, the 29 of Tierson Chandler, the inside of Jake McCarty. McCarty not giving a lot of room on the inside. He's got every right to. But that is helping him be able to defend. And Harrison Chandler trying to wrap it around the bottom. Trying to make sure you stay off of the 9. Don't slide up. These guys are doing a very good job with the older tires. Harrison going to tap that apron a little bit. Going to cost him some momentum. So instead of completing the pass, they're going to be side by side down the backstretch. Lapinus is going up, down, trying to look for who can essentially make the hole. Harrison didn't quite have him clear. And the 9's going to take full advantage of that with extra momentum, and Harrison having to leave a space open. Harrison going to try once again in the Autism Awareness Camaro, and he's going to complete the pass right now on McCarty. You're over halfway in this race now. Making some good time. And these guys are kind of in the mindset of just sitting there, logging laps. A lot of people out front are space. Brian, oh, what the heck? My ticker's has Aaron's in the lead. How did Aaron get by Brian? Something must have happened to Brian when I was looking at that battle back there, because Brian is a second off of Aaron. Roles were reversed not too long ago, but Aaron is also pulling away from Brian too, which is very impressive. About an even gap from first to second, the same gap from Brian to Paul. Malachi Drake's still sitting there in 4th, and Drew Trader in 5th. And Thornton is 3 seconds off of what was Trader, but looks like Malachi Drake and him are having a battle. We'll take a look at that. Trader just got around the 07. The 07, we'll see if he can have anything to fight back, or if the 89 is going to start pulling away. The 07 is having a line slightly different than the 89, but it looks like Trader is faster at the moment and able to start to pull away from Drake. That fight kind of ended pretty early. I'll see. Dustin Carroll is close to, I think, battling Fuller, so we'll take a look at the 93. These guys are going at it for the 13th position, so Fuller has, for the duration since I talked to him last, maintained 13. And Carroll trying to put that pressure on him, being exactly a 10th apart. And Ticker's just bouncing a little bit as Fuller had a better exit than the 93. And Fuller making his second green flag pit stop of the night. See if other people are too. I think Brian Lorenzo is still out on track. But that is probably a scheduled stop. And 14 pitting now. Yeah. I don't think the 14 is going to be good to the end on fuel. Brian's probably stretching this out. See if he can make this his last stop. For people that were saving fuel, you definitely can try and make this a 2-stop race. And he's coasting in. I heard that earlier from Alexa Malachi Drake. I was wondering if that's what he's doing, but it wasn't positive. But Brian is saving hard. You can hear him coasting in. He's definitely trying to make this stop his last one. A lot of people have pitted right now. Harrison Chandler up to third because of it. Like the 89 just exiting pit road right now. These guys are all going to have to do one more stop, but if there is another caution, we've only had one, but it will really mess this strategy up for a lot of these people up here. But if we're following trends, looks like Brian is making a very smart call. Harrison Chandler, like he had a little love with the wall early on in the race. You'll see how long he can continue. Zachary Thorin, same boat. AJ Kupala, same boat. And Aaron definitely pitted, so I think Aaron is the first car that would inherit the lead once again. And the only way for him to lead the race would, or win the race, be if he has another caution. You can see the difference right now. 17 of AJ Kupala staying very out of the way for Drew Trader. Personally, I think this strategy is pretty good, and I really hope to see it pay off, but like the 51 was catching the 17 very quickly. It is the person that's driving behind you to try and get out of the way, but as a driver, and I kind of struggle with this on Monday, you want to get out of the way, you don't want to be a pain, but you also don't want to put yourself in the way of the person behind you trying to make the move. The 30 exiting pit stop. You're still outside of the window to the end, I believe. I think if these guys can get it to 85, might be good, but the 17's coming down. He's going to have to save some fuel on his last stop. Cochran, same thing. Have to be saving fuel in order to make it to the end, which is very doable. But I think this is the absolute longest they could stay out. Malachi Drake somehow able to stay out even longer. And he's going to be coming in this time. These guys, with some fuel saving to the end, I believe they can make it. This being their last stop. But you're going to have to be looking at your fuel numbers versus someone like Aaron Brown. Doesn't have to look on his fuel numbers, but he can't control anything at the moment. This is probably why Aaron all of a sudden had a 1-second lead over Brian Lorenzo. I think Brian backed way off after realizing what strategies he could do. And Malachi's going to be joining the track right in front of the 16. But he's going to be staying low, looking on relative. Making sure he's out of the way of these people. Right now he'll be able to get up to speed. But he does have a pack of people down behind him with steel. And, well, it was short-lived, but the Ford, I think the 40 is a lap car. I don't know, Brett Merle's up to 11. No, that was for a position. As we discussed, Aaron Brown inheriting the lead once again. He's going to put the 22 one lap down. Is the 22 going to go? It is showing one lap down. I think that's just because Aaron passed him. Ooh, wiggle out of the 22, but saves it. He is the first car one lap down. The other person laps down is James Goulian. He's 2, Joshua Yandu 2, Ryan Frey 3, Dean Demmer left the session. He's going to finish the race 21st. And Brady Floyd only did a couple laps. Drew Trader is the only guy close to Aaron, and he's 3.6 seconds back. A little fluctuation in that. Hypothetically, if the caution were to come out in this last stint, everybody would come down to pit. Aaron Brown would maintain the lead, but Brian Lonzo, who's in 4th, would start 4th. Versus if there isn't a caution, Brian Lonzo probably would win this race. I think Paul Irvin has a tendency to stay out as well, so Paul probably... No, I don't think. 7 seconds off of Paul and Brian. So I think Aaron, Drew, and Paul are probably banking on needing one more caution to the end, and then they would get tires, and everybody would be on the same scenario to the end of the race, because at this point we would be absolutely golden to the end. But Brian's probably in the best position if I were to guess, in that he can control his fuel saving. If a caution were to come out, he would be starting 4th, which is not bad at all. And I'm looking at the times right now. They're actually increasing from Brian. It was at 7 a minute ago. Now it's at 8 seconds, 8.5. So Brian's in some serious fuel saving mode. But Paul, Drew, and Aaron, I've said it before, they just don't care about fuel and tires at the moment. But even though these three are on completely separate strategies, Aaron has still had one heck of a race, even if he does have to pit again. When they were all on the same strategy, he was, up there with Brian. Probably not a first place car, but definitely a top 3 car. I'm not sure if he intentionally chose to kind of go to the end, or if he just, just racing. This is what happened, and then Brian and everybody behind him changed up their strategies to make it a 2-stop race. Gonna mess around with some functions that Chris Pierce has given me for this awesome ticker. Everybody is spaced out at the moment. Going to show you some driver info. See Brown's stats. He does have 3 pit stops. We'll compare him to Brian. 1 less pit stop. And he is fine. It's just iRacing glitching out and making the car scrape. Brian's wheel's still there. He's still doing fine. But Fuller and Drake have managed to get by him. Makes it really interesting because Malachi Drake is absolutely on the same strategy. Fuller, maybe not. But Malachi Drake might be using slightly more fuel. And at times, when you're trying to play the strategy, it isn't completely set in stone. You have to go exactly this many miles per hour and you will be good to the end. Want to try and keep it speed lower while using less gas, probably clutching in on the turns, and then trying to choose when you want to use that gas. You want to make sure that you use up all your gas, because when you don't use the gas, you're obviously slow, but you also don't want to run out of fuel too. So it's a very fine balancing act. It's very possible that Malachi thinks that he's saving enough to the end, and he thinks he could push it more than Brian has. You can hear in the car he is clutching in the turns. I'm going to go to the cockpit view of the 7, and you're going to, I should probably do different view. I'm going to look at the roll bar so I'm not giving away too much information. You can hear it. You can see the RPMs drastically going down. And then he's on the throttle. I'm going to look at 3 and 4, and then I'm going to move to Brian. And then I'm going to move to Aaron. Just to show what it is full throttle. So this is saving. It's going from Drake. Brian, if I were to guess, is saving a lot more. All these people pitted again. Aaron Brown down the pits. '51 as well. Paul Irvin actually with a quicker stop than Brian. Or I'm sorry. Than Aaron. Probably 2 tires, fuel only. Who knows? But it was very
flag is out.
fast. Caution is out. Oh, I can only imagine what the race chatter is going on like. All they had to do was hold out one more lap and they wouldn't have been put in this position. But everybody's going to be put at the same level to the end of the race. The strategy in question is out the window. Everybody is going to be on the same even playing field, and it's going to be a full-out slugfest to the end of this. I'm going to remove the driver info. And it just got a lot crazier. Once again, in the middle of pit cycles, if I were to guess, maybe someone got demered into the turn 2 wall again. We'll see. I don't know if Dean's watching this, but I do like that phrase, getting demered. '29 is going to be leading them down pit road. You can see Drake and Lorenzo following suit. 51 going down again, too. Oh, because the 51 didn't take tires, so now he's taking advantage of taking tires. That makes sense, but I don't think he was put down a lap before, which is great. E40 just missed his pit stall. The 29 going to lead him off the pit row, followed by the 07, 77. Throwing Lapinus. The 9. And then off of that was quick other 70, 17 or 50. And take a look and see what happened. Oh, the 89. Yeah, it is the exact same thing. Car is looking really weird on iRacing. Snapped over, boom, into the wall. And that was that. Yep, still repairing damage. That right front wheel does not look good. So if I were to guess, probably the same exact situation with another fast race car. People who took tires before took their natural wave around. So Aaron Brown, although this is a sort of a break for him, he's not going to finish the race multiple laps down. He's in 10th though, and he's going to have to fight his way back up to the end with 20 laps to go. We're not going to need to be pitting anymore, so we'll see if we have any multi-car incidents other than just how people can't get off a pit road. 22 looking for a natural wave around, and he should be getting that shortly. Oh, the 40 as well. Two of Darnell, there they go. And those guys are gonna latch onto the back of this pack. We're gonna try this once again. Harrison Chandler leading on the inside. Malachi Drake is gonna be on the outside. Those guys, I don't know if they're officially teammates, but they at least have raced with each other quite a bit. I guarantee you they're in the same chat. And then behind him, these two people are definitely in the same chat. Thornton and Brian Lorenzo. So we'll say teammate versus teammate. Or team versus team. Those are going to be heading back on green. Who's going to win this race? Less than 20 laps to go here at Charlotte.
Green flag, green
flag is off. The 29 goes pretty early in the box. Should be good though. But Drake was caught off guard. And Lorenzo in 35. Oh my gosh, that was close. Oh, the contact in the back with the 9. getting into the wall, but they are all good so far. He's just going to lose a lot of grounds. Harrison Chandler, though, up front by 4/10 over
The yellow
Brian.
flag is out.
And caution has happened once again. Call it 89 again. Definitely started at the 93. We'll see it stacked up a little bit. 93 got loose, probably a little tap in the bumper. We'll have to see if that's a race incident by race control or not. 24 got plummeted. 89 went right into the 93, and the 93's day is done. That tire is toast. True Trader's Day also might be done. $15 laps to go. This has probably been the 15 longest laps of the race. Autism awareness car getting plenty of time up front, but Brian Lawrence are going to be chasing him down. Malachi Drake, though, is going to be starting in the 3rd position. Those people seem to be able to get the better jump of the two. Brian, though, does have that experience, going to be starting outside of Harrison. And then Thornton going to be starting right behind Brian. So those guys should probably have the best chance of getting a good restart if I were to guess. But Harrison, I'm assuming he's going to go early in the box, but if he goes later in the box, really could throw someone off. Still have everybody is all out of their tires though. Unless you want pit for a fuel, which is kind of dumb if you can already make it to the end. Just going through the field here. And then Darnell in 17th, Dustin Carroll 18th. James Coyne in the 06. Yep. Oh, why he's got that. I'm gonna go back up to Harrison because we're on green shortly. About half a lap. We're gonna try doing this once again. We'll be just shy of the 10 laps to go mark. Guys are gonna be really wanting to get that white flag so we can be done with this race. And I'm gonna quickly try and go through my interview. We'll see, it's all in Harrison's hands right now. When he goes in that box, if he can get a jump. Brian went early. And now the 29's gonna go the wrecking behind.
Green.
Alright, Adam's gonna throw the yellow for that. They are not. Harrison Chandler, though, able to get a decent sized jump. Not phenomenal, but these guys are really, really crazy behind. The aggression is ramping up. You can see Thornton was able to get a good start too. Malachi Drake, not so much. He fell back actually to 4th. Thornton had a really good jump from that outside line. They were definitely, he and Brian were definitely working together. Brian trying to make a move on the 29, leaving that inside open. I don't know if I do that this late in the race, especially with those fresh tires, but Brian's going to take advantage of that. He's blinking out on me here. Brian's going to be to the inside right now. Harrison
Caution,
Chandler.
yellow flag.
Harrison maintain the lead and caution is out once again. Come on. Want to get done with this. And it was the 51 that caused it. Definitely going back. I think Aaron helped. So battling very aggressively right now with Aaron. I don't think Aaron pinched a little bit, but the 51 tapped the apron. So that's not Aaron's fault. He tapped the apron himself. Kind of looped it around down the back. And that's actually what caused the caution when he came back on track. It's fine to the end though. And the 51's going down pit road because he didn't make any contact. His tires are probably used all up. Unless there's some damage he wanted to repair, but we'll see. Oh, I think these guys do have a 4th set. Okay, because in the Gen 6 they're supposed to give us 4 sets. But I'll be giving. So the 51 right now using his last set to the end, and people could choose to take the last set too. Maybe some fuel. It is definitely looking like an overtime type of race. Due to the nature of the beast and the aggression, it's kind of happened just due to the one simple caution, and now it's this. We'll be going green. That grammar sucked. Probably around, maybe just shy of the 120 mark. So it'll be 5-lap shootout to the end, and then if there's another caution, we would be going into one of our 3 green-white checkered attempts. And this is the final race before the playoffs. Dean in the chat was talking about how this is not giving any momentum for him. We'll see. He's had more of an up and down season than Brian has, although Brian has had one terrible race, and Brian's terrible race came at Richmond. Dean's terrible race came today at Charlotte. But I think this is going to make Brian our regular season champion, and then we're going to head into the playoffs. Double following once again. We're gonna rack them, stack them, and probably wreck them. Lights on the pace car, and so we will be going green next time by. Harrison Chandler is gonna be leading us to green. We'll see if he learned his lesson about leaving the bottom open for Brian, or Brian is gonna take advantage of that. And Brian's gonna be starting on the top side. 35 are gonna be starting on the bottom, and 7 gonna be starting in 4th position. Aaron Brown, though, has slowly made his way up to the field. He's actually in 5th. And Travis Lapine, very steady day for him. He's in 6th. We're trying this again. I was right. Starting close to lap 120. We're actually starting lap 119. Close enough. Four cautions of the night, 2 simple ones, and the last 3 have really come very in a row. Harrison gonna go, same time he always has. Brian's gonna be in 2nd, but the 35 with a much better restart. He's gonna be side by side right now with the 77. This is exactly what Harrison Chandler needs, although he's on the top side. I don't know why. I see that he came down and cut the draft, but with those 2 side by side, Harrison is gonna be able to kind of extend his lead, but he's on the top side. I don't know why the top side you can't really get a great run off, especially these new tires. And Harrison is going to be leading at the 120 lap mark, but he's got 100 pack of cars behind him. And Brian gets dumped by Brian. This is going to be another caution of the night.
The yellow flag is out.
Everybody able to avoid the 77. I really don't want to do this, but I kind of have to. So Aaron drifted up the track, tagged the 77, and that was that. But look at all these people avoiding him. The 9 darting down the inside, the 2 all getting around. Brian going to restart in the back, though. He's going to probably take tires. And we're going to be... not sure if this is going to be our first green flag attempt. It's going to be close. It might be like a green, white checkered, but with green flag conditions, and then they'll actually use the attempt, so essentially giving them 4 to do it, which is fantastic. Brian's gonna be going down. He's gonna be the last car, so he's gonna use a set of tires and fully service his Mustang. See what he can do. It was a great day going for the 77, but I guess all good things must come to an end, especially when you have an Aaron around. So Brian out of the picture. He's not out of the race because there's some cautions. And he's going to slowly be able to make ground up as people are stupid and wreck out. Harrison redoing this thing once again, but Thornton making his way up to the second position. He's going to have a chance at the 29. However, Thornton is one that is not afraid to use his bumper, and he does not have a win of the season. Neither does Harrison, but Harrison I don't think will use the bumper. But Harrison, for some reason, it's always been trying to go on that outside lane, which I don't agree with. But because of the cautions, he's been able to maintain the lead. And Malachi Drake going to be in third, so he'll be working together with Harrison, trying to... If they time it right, it might be able to get around Thornton, but Thornton does have a lot of experience. And he... very tough on that outside. There's 3 laps to go. We're going to be going green. Probably... I think it's probably 2 to green. Setting this up for a green-white checkered attempt. Or... well, green-white checkered, but not officially using. Alright, no lights on the pace car. We're going to be trying this again. Okay, it did bring us to use our first green-white attempt. Let's say 3 laps to go. We're not going to hit a 4th one, thankfully. Might actually end this one, but it may take 2 more cautions to do that. Our overtime attempt number 1 is going to be happening very shortly as we exit off of 4. Pace car is going to go down the safety of pit road. And Harrison will be leading us to green. If history repeats itself, he's probably going to go early on the box. And Thornton Probably gonna time that. But before, Brian tried to time it
Green,
and
green, green.
absolutely stunk. But the 35 spun the tires. That's gonna help the '07. So we're gonna try and use that top side to get around the '07, and he is. White flag's gonna be next time by, but Harrison using the top side to defend. Oh, leaving the bottom wide open for Zachary Thorne. We're going to take the white flag. We are going to finish this thing. Harrison is going to lead it, but under a blanket right now is Zachary Thornton, and he's leaving the inside wide open once again. Thornton's going to take advantage of that. He's really wide, and they're going to be side by side down the backstretch. Because of that, he might have given the win to Zachary Thornton, who's looking for his first win of the season. 29 is going to have to pinch if he wants to win this thing. And off of 3 and 4, they're going to make contact, leaning on each other off of the exit, side by side to the front stretch. And it is going to be, oh, photo finish to the line. Harrison Chandler won this race by 3/1000ths of a second. Zachary Thornton and Malachi Drake will be joining me in the booth, and we will be going to this very shortly. So 77 out here, even though he finished in what, pretty bad? I know, the 14th. That's why he's able to make it up. But Brian Lorenzo is the regular season champion. That's why he is burning it down here too. And taking a picture. So, these people. If Brian hops up in the interview room, probably gonna have to interview. But I thank goodness it's not every week. Hey Malachi, Matt in the booth, you copy? Malachi, you copy?
I copy. I hear you.
Okay. So third place run for you. Kind of I'm gonna try and go through these interviews quick to be honest. So how was it, throughout the race, and those green white checker or those cautions at the end were very brutal, but managed to stick it out in third place run for you.
Yeah. That last caution with like 20 to go hurt because I could have made it to the end on fuel, and I was the highest running car that I could have made it to the end on fuel. So we went green. I probably would have won, but it is what it is. Congrats to Harrison. He got the lead there by staying out in on the green flag run, and then leader has a big advantage with the clean air, and he was able to do his job. So congrats to him, and congrats to Brian on the regular season championship.
Yep. So we'll be seeing you throughout the playoffs. How much momentum does this give you? And I know you're definitely looking to try and get your first win of the season, but anything to, I guess, look forward to in the playoffs, or How far you think you're gonna make it?
I don't know. There's some really good drivers, so every race you're gonna have to be pretty good. I need to make sure that I build up a decent amount of points for some of the road courses and I think the super speedway race because anything can happen at those. But it's no wins this season, but had winning speed, couple races. A few things go differently. I win the race, so it's good to get third, and gives good momentum going into the rest of the season.
Yep, it definitely helps. Before we let you go though, anyone you want to thank for your performance tonight?
Thanks to Harrison and Aaron. No, Aaron made the mistake at the end there, but we were all trying to work together on a strategy. And then once Harrison got the lead, I was trying to help Hawking cover for him at the end there, and it worked out.
Gotcha. I assume you guys kind of were in the same chat, just like we all know Thornton and Brian were in the same chat. Overall, still a really great season for you. I did have you on my final five. See how that goes. No pressure. But thank you for your time and have a good rest of your night.
All right, thank you.
All right, Thornton. Thornton, man, booth, you copy?
Yep.
All right, I am trying to make these interviews short, sweet, because I have to go
But
to
I
work
need
at
to do
ridiculously
a quick one
early.
too, so we'll make this really quick.
Okay. First of all, throughout the race, kind of how was it? I want to talk about there at the end, and then obviously the finish. And Harrison kept on leaving the inside open. I thought you were going to get it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I could have been a little bit more aggressive towards the end, but pretty good overall.
Gotcha. And then you're going to be in the playoffs. So how does it look? Momentum wise, tracks you want to look out for, or how far are you going to make it?
I don't know. I don't really look too much into it yet, but just hoping to have some good runs and yeah,
Gotcha. All right. Based
and
on
make
your
it nice quick.
responses, we'll go over sponsors and then I'll kick you out.
Yeah. Just thanks to Brian, Tyler for his controlling and you for broadcasting.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good rest of your night.
You too.
That was quick. Harrison's is not going to be as quick. Hey, Harrison, Matt and Booth, you copy?
Yo, what's happening?
I know you're ecstatic. One heck of a run. I thought you almost give it there at the end. I am gonna try and make these interviews short, sweet, because I have to wake up at like 5:40. But kind of how was it for you throughout the race? And there at the end, I thought you might have given it away by being on the high side.
No, that's where I wanted to be. If I was on the bottom, I was screwed, and I knew that. I had 2 minutes of optional from hitting the wall when trying to avoid Dean. It looked like he was he was gonna get down the track in time, so I went up top, and doing that, I slammed the wall. That was 2 minutes 20 seconds, and before the race even happened, during qualifying, I crashed, and my steering wheel does this thing, unfortunately, where if I jerk the wheel real hard trying to save it, it misaligns. So for example, going straight forward, my wheel was tilted 90 degrees to the left. So I thought my race was done immediately. I just ran it. I just stayed in it to get the best finish I could. Oh my god, I've never had a finish like that. I have never in my whole career had a finish that close. That it was I they had my chat they had my chat disabled because I was trying to argue the case with they said I was lagging back on the restarts, but I was trying to tell them I was keeping the pace speed, so I had my chat disabled, so I couldn't scream in chat because I was muted. But
Oh,
I'll tell
boy.
you what, man. Oh my god, I haven't that was the thriller I needed, dude. Races I won lately, I just take it for granted. I don't show any emotion. That right there was the thrill. That was the high I needed, man. Oh my god. But all right. Anyways, I probably so one last thing. Thank you to everyone in uh the past, the present or future who have believed in me, whether it be family, friends. I oh my god, man, I needed this so freaking bad. March 31st, my dog Lovey, I had for 9 years. We had to euthanize her because she was just I can't even explain how swollen her one leg was, and then the other ones were skinny to bones. She dealt with that. Her name's Lovey, but she's a hell of a trooper. She lasted from a few days before Christmas all the way up to March 31st. She did very well. She did man, she this is for her. This is for her. I told her before she went that I'm going I'm going to I'm going to do something. I'm going to win for you. And my lord, it happened, and it happened in one of the best ways possible. So thank you, Lovey, for 9 years of happiness, joy, thrill, laughter, no negative, every other possible emotion. I dedicate this to you 100%.
Gotcha. Well, one heck of a run for you. Yeah, when you look at the broadcaster, I was definitely thinking that you're throwing it away there on the inside, and Thornton was trying really hard to use that inside. But congratulations for you on your 2019 tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This was great. That was so awesome.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll see you more in the future. Maybe some more great runs, and I can, do a more lengthy interview with you. But
Oh
have
yeah.
a great rest of your night.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So overall, good race. I'm tired. But it was definitely entertaining there at the end. Harrison proved me wrong. I thought he threw it away, being on the outside, but didn't. And well, managed to win the race by 4/1000ths of a second. So very impressive from him. Malachi Drake also feels pain a little bit there too, thinking that he definitely had a shot there at the end to win. Thornton, once again, another hungry driver, still trying to get the win too, but we do have a different top three tonight, so always very nice to see some variety. But we'll see you next week starting playoffs at New